Hello everyone and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to sample with Maschine from a blindness perspective. There will be instructions on using VLCR to scan your screen to click at things. For those of you on Windows, if there's something of equivalence over there, feel free to use that. So firstly, your samples go in Documents, Native Instruments, Maschine 3, and Samples. And there's one more level of folder that you could use to categorize your samples. Past this, Maschine will just flatten every subfolder and subfolder after that. For instance, if you have categorized your drums and you make your folder structure all nice and have a kick folder, a snare folder, clap folder, a hat folder, you point to that drums folder with Maschine and all your kicks and your snares and hats and claps and all that will be in one huge list. Just a forewarning on that one there. And for Maschine to even see your samples, you have to add them in that path. And then in Maschine software itself, you go to Preferences, so Command on a Mac, and you scan your window with VOCR, and you click Library. Rescan if you don't have Autoscan on, click User. Rescan again, click Rescan. There's a checkbox above the rescan, add and remove and all that says scan for content changes at startup. See if you can check that with VOCR. And I guess just to make sure, click the rescan button again and then hit close after you wait a couple seconds. And hopefully with that box checked, every time that you start Maschine, if you've dropped any new samples into your folder, hopefully they'll show up. Let's go load in a sample right now. I'm gonna hit pad 1 just to make sure it's highlighted. And I'm going to hit the browser button.
Browser.
I'm already here. To get to your samples, you hit button 2 until you get to one shots, and then button 4 and it'll say user on. And then knob 2, you point to Maschine 3. Knob 3, you point to samples. With knob 4, you point to your folder that you have for organization. So I have a MISC folder that just has a bunch of random audio, and I have a Unison folder for like their daily drops and stuff that give away for free. And then I have a Somatics Ghost, which is their latest project, and Vintage Melody teaser pack. This is where I was saying that if you have any subfolders in this folder, which this folder does, if you're familiar with Somatics, in the root of the folder is like the full loops, and then there's a loops and stems folder, and then you open that, and then all the subfolders in there correspond to loops, and each folder contains the stems that correspond to that loop. In Maschine, it only shows the Somatics folder, and then from there, it flattens the loops and stems folder, and it flattens all the loops and the stems folders, and then it puts it all in one list. So I'm pointed at this loop called gesture. Right, and I'm gonna hit choke to
shift off.
Mute it. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll up. So this is how it all appears. Like the loop is first and then the stems corresponding to that loop or under it. I'll go ahead and mute that. So let's go ahead and load this up. I'm gonna hit button 8.
Load.
And then I'm gonna hit the plugin button.
Plug it on.
Just to make sure. And I'm gonna hit fixed velocity.
Fixed velocity on.
Just turn that on. I'm gonna hit the pad mode button.
Pad mode page.
I'm gonna hit the right arrow to page 2.
Parameter page 2 off.
Looking for knob 3. It's not talking because, you know, turn it on.
127.
There we go. And now we're going to hit left arrow to go back to page 1.
Parameter page 1 off.
And then just hit the pad mode.
Keyboard mode page. Pad mode page.
There we go.
Fixed velocity off.
Jeez. Hitting all the wrong
Choke
buttons.
mode,
guys.
send.
Sorry.
Plugin.
Okay. Now we're in the plugin view. So we want to set this voicing to 8. 1.
Voice settings. Polyphony 8. Legato 1.
There we go. And we'll, I mean, it's almost at the end, so there's really no point in muting it. But yeah, we have that loaded up in pad 1. And we're gonna go ahead and chop it up. making sure it was selected. Always just tap things before I do anything with them. So let's go ahead and hit sampling.
Sampling.
Within sampling, there's 4 different modes, and I always just stay on manual.
Button
Slice on.
3.
There we go, we're on slice. And now,
Slicer. Mode. Manual.
manual is basically you start your sample on pad 1, and as your loop is playing, you tap the pads.
He presses pad 1. As pad 1 is playing, he presses pad 2. Then he can press pad 2 to restart from the split he just made, and press pad 3, so on and so forth.
Okay, now let's say that we're satisfied with what we have here. We're gonna hit button 8,
Say OK.
and then we're gonna hit it again.
Plugin.
And now,
Voice settings. Polyphony 8.
we want to set
Legato.
that to 1.
1.
Otherwise, they're gonna just run all over each other. At least the longer ones. Okay, so let's say we're not satisfied with how some of those samples turned out. And hit sampling.
Sampling.
I'm gonna hit edit.
Edit on.
Button 2.
And now this is where I'm going to turn off my knobs because
Play range. Start. 18,054.
we get that.
Play range. End. 28,809.
It is very annoying to hear numbers shouted at you as you're manipulating your sample. So let's go ahead and turn this off.
Screen knob zone off.
All right. And so now all we do is just hit one of the pads.
Knob 1 to edit your start point, and knob 2 to edit your end point. He is twisting the knobs very slowly to adjust the length of the sample, and tapping the pads repeatedly to hear his changes. The other modes are: detect, listens for transients and slices the sample at peaks, great for drums or dynamic hits. Split, divides the sample evenly across pads, useful for quickly chopping a loop into equal parts. And finally, grid, slices based on a fixed rhythmic grid. Perfect for loops with consistent timing.
And then we can literally take this end and just twist it because it's so long. It's a 32 bar loop. So all our edits are automatically saved, though hitting apply doesn't hurt.
Pad mode page.
Now we're going to go ahead into the pad mode page because it
Shift on. 9 clear. Shift off.
wrote stuff in.
Keyboard mode page.
Back into keyboard mode. And if you think it's not working, if you just get silence, you want to
Octave minus disabled.
scroll your octave with button 5 all the way till it says disabled. Your samples are on like the lowest keys. So let's go ahead and come up with something. I'm going to set this to
Tempo. Tune on. 99.00. 87.00. 83.00. 82.00.
82.
Shift on. Record on. Stop.
Okay.
5 quantize. Shift off. Restart. Stop.
We've got our sample recorded in, chopped up. There's more to this. You can stretch them, you can set them to different pitches, you can reverse them and fade them in and out and do all kinds of stuff. Let's go see about making a beat. Okay, I think I found a kit that might serve a purpose. So let's record in a beat.
Shift on. Record on. Stop. 5 quant. Shift off.
Not the best.
Restart. Stop.
Actually worked out. The sample is a little too quiet, so let's see. I'll just turn down the group.
Volume. Velocity on. Minus 5.5 dB. Minus 7.5 dB.
Let's try that.
Burning stage kit on. Restart. Stop.
Let's add a little of that in.
Shift on. Record on. Shift off.
Quantize that.
Tap off.
Turn the metronome off, unarm the group.
Shift record on.
Let's see.
Shift 5 quant. Shift off.
And there we go. That's how we sample. Kept it simple, and if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I hope this was helpful to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.